Alrighty, guys. So, somebody just recommended this video to me right while we were in the middle of the stream. Looks like a good watch. This is Willard Mackleton Showmanship. Made a video about Keffals called Keffals is Unironically Evil. So, let's take a look. A lot of people don't like Keffals. You know, let's get it going.
Hello, fellow libtards, repubtards. We gather here today to discuss the bipartisan issue that is Keffals. For those of you who don't know, Keffals is a former candidate of the Canadian Communist Party turned Twitch streamer. She became famous for ratioing people on Twitter, doing it to Elon Musk as well as many other right-leaning people. She aims to deplatform anyone who criticizes her. She's vindictive, encouraging her fans to go after people's jobs. She's doxed individuals, hiring a private investigator.
Didn't she dox like the wrong Kiwi Farm? Because I think Kiwi Farms is not great. I mean, that's my understanding. They're less than stellar. You know what I mean?
To do so. She's embezzled over $100,000 of GoFundMe money for a long.
I don't know if I call it embezzled. It's not ideal. The biggest problem was that a lot of it seemed to say she was going to go to a lawyer, which is probably never going to happen. I wonder if she actually thought that she could sue, though. That's my real question, if she intended to ever actually sue. But, I mean, her fans wanted to donate that money. It is what it is. I mean, I personally don't give a shit. I mean, that's her silly fans. Okay, I put this in the wrong spot. So.
Lawsuit that will never happen, while conveniently now having the money to vacation all around Europe with the new IRL streaming setup to boot.
Well, Europe is pretty small, right? Isn't it? How big is Europe? How big is Europe? Did I spell Europe wrong? I did. 44 million miles. How big is Texas? Oh. Oh. Damn. I thought Europe was smaller for some reason. I thought Europe was the size of Texas. Oh, Russia is part of Europe technically? Well, we call it the real part of Europe. It doesn't include. I doubt she's going to Russia, so it's like half of that. Right, so it's basically like driving from like Texas to southern Texas.
Boot. Download this video because she has taken down countless accounts that have rubbed her the wrong way. That is why I would like to thank our special guest, Tej Hanley. Tej Hanley uncomplicates the skincare process for men, making it easy for guys like you and me to stay hydrated and smooth. I always get flaky skin around my mouth, in my beard. Guys, we don't like when the ladies have.
I personally just use Head and Shoulders for that.
Dry skin. You think they like it on us? My favorite part about Tej is that every box comes with an instructional card to help walk you through each product, how much to use, and in what order. I recommend the level 1 box. It comes with all the basics to start your skincare routine. In the morning, I do a daily face wash to get rid of all that dirt and grime. I bust out the AM moisturizer SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your face from the sun. Very soft. In the evening, I use that PM moisturizer so my skin stays hydrated throughout the night. And twice a week, you exfoliate. It's really that easy, and it feels great, but you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers. And because Tej Hanley is being heroes for sponsoring today's video, they're offering you a great deal. Click the link in the description to get 30% off your first order, plus a free gift. Man, start your easy skincare routine today. Get Tej Hanley. Thank you, Tej Hanley, for sponsoring today's video. Keffals is trans and she has no doubtly been a target for harassment online, which is interesting because she's also one of the biggest bullies on the internet herself. Keffals routinely mischaracterizes people she doesn't like with half-truths or lies to try and
Who's she talking about there?
Keffals routinely mischaracterizes people
Destiny's job is to radicalize people into the far right by pretending to be a moderate liberal. He has been slowly easing his entire community into it, starting with friendly conversations with Laura Southern to now doing IRL streams with Nick Fuentes. So I think that you could have the conversation, say like, hey, some of the people that Destiny's talking to are less than ideal, right? I don't think that's unreasonable to say. Some of them are less than ideal and could be having a negative impact of introducing people to their audience, right? Nick Fuentes is probably one of them. But then to say that he's actively trying to do this, I think is shitty. To be honest with you, I think the real thing that happened is Destiny, what the fuck, has been kind of nay-nayed by a lot of his friends, his progressive friends, you know, your Voushes and your Steven Crowder, but the reverse of Steven Crowder. Hassan. And now he's struggling to feel like he has like any friends, because any friend that he chooses seems to fucking betray him. So now he's just talking to whoever the fuck he wants without really caring. Right? That seems to be more what's happening to. Did he burn the Nick Fuentes bridge? Really? Interesting. Why? What happened there? But I don't think that's ever been Destiny's intention ever. I think it's dishonest to suggest that it is.
She doesn't like, with half-truths or lies to try and discredit them. She loves to frame everybody else's community as super transphobic. She once got mad at Destiny for talking about trans women in sports. It's a hot-button issue in today's
yeah, true. That's crazy.
Climate because everyone deserves a right to compete, but there's clearly a competitive edge there. So to me, it makes sense that political creators would engage in this dialogue.
So my understanding.
Yeah, the reality, bro, is that transphobic people, you know, they're always going to be transphobic. Them wanting to remove trans women from sports is because they just don't like trans women. That being said, that doesn't mean that everybody who's against trans women in sports is transphobic. Realistically speaking, I wish trans women could compete in sports. It would be nice. But it just seems like there's an unfair biological advantage that is maintained. And that is my issue with it more than anything else. Right? That's pretty much it. So, am I going to be able to... Nope. I'm struggling with this one. So that's where I come from, man. But it's unfortunate.
Understanding of your position is that basically there's some advantage that having ever been sort of like born male or whatever, having ever had male physiology.
It's mostly going through a male puberty. I think that like we still don't know when it comes to somebody who didn't go through their male puberty. Maybe they would be able to compete, but then that's a whole conversation about introducing, you know, hormones to kids, and like I don't know how I feel about that. So
that the advantage that presents you in competing in certain sports is like equivalent to the advantage presented by doing like performance enhancing drugs or something.
Yeah, it's probably greater than.
Wow, it's greater than doing performance enhancing.
Oh, yeah.
It's more that there is a specific advantage that you get that those leagues are controlling for. Like it's supposed to be female leagues and male leagues. So if you're,
and the reality is like whether people want to think of it like this or not, women can get like cis women can get seriously hurt by a trans woman because of the potential advantage that comes from going through a male puberty, even when you're on like, you know, transitioning hormones. Right now I'm gonna fucking freak out because I guess I'm not able to like beat this fucking thing right now. But
if you're able to gain an advantage by breaking that construct, then that seems to be a pretty bad thing.
So how does Keffals respond to this take? She calls him a stealther, which is when you take off the condom without letting the girl know.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile he stealths people, which is legitimately a form of rape.
Yeah, and then I think she immediately walked it back because she realized how fucking stupid that was to say. Oh, fuck, I fucked something up. Look at how happy she is with herself, though. Wow.
Insane shit.
She then says Destiny is pro-segregation against trans people.
True.
People in his replies are still trying to tell me that Destiny stands for trans people, but literally talked about how he supports segregation earlier this week.
What does that mean? What does she mean, like in sports?
You can't simultaneously say you support trans people and say that trans people should have to compete in their own sports leagues. You're literally advocating for segregation. That's fucking insane. That's insane.
Yeah, I guess you are, technically. I mean, that doesn't mean... The problem is what the wording that she's using is... suggesting is trying to almost bring in the energy of like probably racial segregation, because that's the most what do we say, the word prolific version of segregation, or the most known version for people. Like we segregate a lot of stuff. Not everything that's segregated is bad, right? I'm pretty sure segregation is a separation of things. Here, definition: segregation. Like we segregate bathrooms. What the fuck did I do? We segregate like men and women's bathrooms. Not that big of a deal. The action of state of setting someone or something apart from other people. That's it. Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. So yeah, we do this all the time. It's just like it's the question is whether it is an unfair or a fair segregation. Is more of the question that we're commanding here. I would expect Keffals to be upset about this take, though. Like, I mean, I would expect a trans person to be. This is the thing, right? Because I still think that what she's saying about Destiny is shitty. But Destiny will even admit he's not like trans or anything. He's just fucking pretty much a white dude. You know, so like, it's one of those things where I guess I'm a little empathetic to people that are of a particular advocacy group, and she's a trans advocate advocating for trans people. I can understand why that somebody would get emotionally provoked when it comes to like their advocacy, because it means a lot to them because they are trans. So, you know, I get, and I know I'm being very charitable to Keffals. People are gonna fucking cry and shit and come in their pants, but you know, I can understand that. I still don't think that her just blatant misrepresentation of Destiny is fair. Like when she said the whole stealthing thing, like she immediately had to walk it back because she knows that that's not true. Saying that he's a far right advocate again is dumb and not true. These are things that you can call out because it doesn't matter if she's upset. Lying is still wrong. But I can understand like fundamentally why she gets upset about some of this stuff.
Sane people talk.
Keffals would then actively try and get Destiny banned on Twitter, adding Twitter support. When Destiny would delete the tweet to protect his account, Keffals would say, literally deleted his tweet. I knew losing his account would be worth more than picking a fight with me. Destiny, you stay in your corner of Twitch and I'll stay in mine and we'll have a good time. Let me remind you that this thread is coming from a debate that should be totally healthy to have. The next day, Destiny would be banned off Twitch, with Keffals taking all the credit. This is Destiny's Twitch channel right now. Hey Steven, I just took away your primary source of income. Please leave me alone and stop bullying trans people for content.
I like this. Hey Papa Guts, sorry to say something random, but I just came with your stream and wanted to say thanks. I listened to your advice on a video and started to walk an hour for a month and I lost 10 pounds. Awesome, brother. Or sister. Or this sister. Good for you. I appreciate that.
Does Keffals give any examples of Destiny just bullying trans people? No, because he didn't.
Wish.
She's just making it up.
I
but
wish.
To her fans, it's believable, because Destiny's already pro-segregation and a stealther. I'm not responding to Destiny's recent subtweets about me. He picked a fight with me, he got banned, I won. Up to this point, Destiny never picked a fight with her. She just randomly started accusing him of stealthing and hate.
You know what's interesting though? I'm gonna check really quick again. But first, Keffals is somebody who's like constantly inserting themselves into drama. Keffals lore. Videos, they're in live, so it's mostly just videos. 71K, 9K, 14K. This is a lot of views here, but that could be like a little bit of an outlier. 33K. Yeah, this is just a joke video. It's interesting, like for somebody who has so much mainstream attention, she's not very popular. I'm not trying to shit on her or anything, but you'd expect like all the times for her to like capitalize on it. Like she's got some decent views. I'm not shitting on her or anything, but like they're okay. I just would expect them to be greater, you know?
Rating her, even though there was no evidence to either. None. Creators wanted to criticize Keffals for her dishonesty, but we're also aware of the transphobia that exists towards her, and they wanted to emphasize that it wasn't acceptable. Nick tweeted, Keffals sucks for a million different reasons, but every time I tweet about her, I get the same unfunny shit. Adam's apple, he, and a bunch of other insults that just make you and me look like assholes. I don't care what you believe, but keep it out of my replies. Tipster would write, I hate that anytime we criticize Keffals, a bunch of transphobic idiots flood our mentions. I'm not about that anti-trans hateful bullshit. Keep the criticisms to her actions, and if you're gonna be transphobic, you're gonna get blocked. How would Keffals respond? By calling them transphobic in both situations.
Wonder how you could cultivate that kind of community. I mean, listen, so it's on the one hand, it's a fair question, but on the other hand, they're actively doing something about it. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't really criticize them. If you're actively speaking out against your transphobic, if there are transphobic people in the community and they didn't say anything about it, then like yeah, I'd be like, oh, that's shitty. But they're like, hey, this is bad. I'm going to take a firm stance against it. So you can't really criticize them at that point. But I'm pretty sure it's all just kind of like a dunk. You know, she's just trying to dunk on people.
Even though they're clearly disavowing it. I'm sorry, but if you have an audience of thousands of people and you don't make trans-related content, statistically speaking, there are going to be a few transphobic people in.
Well, you know, when you got the commentary bro community can be a little edgy, a little sussy. So I can see why there'd be a little bit more, edginess and sussiness in the community. I'm not saying they're bad people at all, but you know, sometimes that kind of happens. It happened to me a lot on TikTok, you know. So I could see why that would happen. Oh fuck.
There. So why does Keffals respond this way? Because she needs them to be seen as transphobic. They're criticizing her. And what's the best way to get her audience to write off that criticism? By framing them as transphobes. This, of course, goats her followers into mass reporting her critics' accounts. In cases like Nick Dioreo's, she would reply to people reporting him saying, this isn't a game anymore. I don't care what happens to them. They played stupid games. It's time for them to win stupid prizes. When it comes to people who are on their second Twitter account, she would add...
What's a stupid prize? You know what a stupid prize is to me? Those stupid like little like $2 puzzles from the store, the metal puzzles that you just kind of twist into each other. This fucking pisses me off. I had a white elephant one year. People got me that. I got like a whole like $60 Funko kit. Fuck, I did the wrong thing again. They got me that. These people are fucking lazy. Come on.
Twitter to get him banned. She'd tweet, "The lesson I learned is that the only way to earn the respect is through fear. Keep up the pressure and they will be marching with us at pride parades." Mr. Medicare would quote tweet her a couple times before she would get him banned too.
This is like, it's almost like Hitler-esque. Keffals isn't Hitler at all. I'm just saying, like, the only way to control them is through fucking fear. It's true. It's true.
She would do the same to Destiny, getting his Twitter taken away. Rakita Law would lose his Twitter as well and temporarily lose his YouTube channel. You gotta love how Keffals, the former Communist Party politician, is now following the steps of Stalin and purging her political opponents. This is absolutely ridiculous, seeing that Keffals at one point was banned on Twitter too, and she used a backup account to tweet in the meantime. She was literally ban evading, just like the account she's calling out. Rules for thee, but not for me. See, that's how you know she was a politician. This pattern of mischaracterizing people so she could justify and aim for their ban became Keffals' motto, and it would only grow in her battle with Kiwi Farms.
I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all.
Kiwi Farms.
Oh, fucking Froggy Fresh is goated. Absolutely goated.
This is an internet forum where people gather together to discuss controversial figures. They are most infamous for their documentation of lolcows. The place has incredibly lax moderation, meaning slurs and misgendering run rampant. Which, you know, I don't care. I grew up on Xbox Live. Every place on the internet doesn't need to be squeaky clean, but it's definitely not for the faint of heart. It's a degenerate place that has some degenerate people on it whose passion is documenting other degenerates. So I wasn't surprised to find out that Keffals had...
Apparently, we learned this through watching the Gino Samuels documentary, that it started out as the Quickie Farms for Daniel Larson. How do you like that? How do you like that, guys? Started out as the Quickie Farms for Daniel Larson. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. I personally, I'm not super, like, in defense of them. Like, I feel like it's kind of like a degenerate fucking place, man. I don't care that I don't care that they get shut down or something. Didn't she, like, incorrectly dox somebody or something stupid like that?
Had a thread created on her. This would lead to a war. Keffals would be swatted August 5th, 2022. Swatting is when an anonymous person calls in a fake crime so the police raid your house and potentially harm you. The threat was someone impersonating Keffals via email, saying that she killed her transphobic mom and was going to kill every cisgender person she sees at City Hall.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Hey, based. Do it, Keffals. Kill every cisgendered transphobe ever. Get him. Get me. I don't know. That's fucking crazy. I know they said that. That's fucking nuts.
Keffals was arrested and then released by the police, returning all of her raided belongings 3 days later. In the meantime, Keffals would heavily criticize how the police handled things, starting a GoFundMe to move, recoup her losses, and build a legal fund.
Swatting is a crime. Identity theft is a crime. And because it was a crime, it was motivated by hatred against transgender.
Identity theft's a crime, Jim. It's not. It's serious stuff. Okay.
People. It was a hate crime perpetrated against me. I've
True.
been subject to emotional damages,
I hated it.
financial damages, blatant violations of the Human Rights Act, and discrimination on the basis of gender identity and expression. I was also subject to unjust seizures.
Keffals would set the goal to $20,000, and she would clarify again, "I started a GoFundMe after being victimized by the London Police Services for being a victim of a hate crime. If my goal is met, I will have raised enough to recoup my losses and move immediately to a safe location. If the goal is exceeded, funds will be allocated to a legal fund to protect myself against ongoing and future threats to my safety." Hey, so far, I can see where she's coming from, and I support what she's trying to do. She's moving, says she's suing the police for infringing on her rights, and replacing the property they took. But oh boy, does things start to get weird real fast. Keffals would leave her house to stay at a hotel, posting a picture of her cat on the bed, saying everything was okay. But the doxers would cross-reference the bed sheets and a picture of her cat to find out which hotel she was staying at. And they sent her loads of pizzas. She would then move hotels, and the doxers would end up hacking her Uber.
Shit. Maybe I should start telling people where I live. If you'll send me a pizza. Although I'm trying to eat healthy, so I'd have to throw the pizza out. Did they really find him just based off of that? That's fucking insane. That's true.
Eats, ordering over $500 worth of food in her name. She would then post a picture of a bunch of the food on her bed, allowing her to get doxxed again, with each new update she gave greatly increasing her donations. And subsequently, the goal of the—
Well, I can see why people would want to donate more. I mean, for her safety. It's like, Jesus, if they're really doing that, that's fucking extra as fuck, man. Imagine that she was doxing herself so that she could justify her increases. Huh? Probably not happening, but you never know, guys. You never know, guys.
The GoFundMe. And every time she would get doxxed, she would blame it on Kiwi Farms, encouraging services like Cloudflare to drop the site so it would be shut down. Keffals would then claim she needs to flee the country to Europe. Why? Kiwi Farms isn't a person. They don't only exist in Canada. It's the internet. They're everywhere. They're all around the world. Going to Europe doesn't make sense. It's even made more
I don't know. Like, I could get why she'd want to completely leave. Just get out of Canada. This way, like, nobody really knows her in the local area. That's what I would imagine. But then doesn't she do, like, an IRL stream after she gets to, like, her destination? She's like, I need to get out of here for the fear of my of my person, and then she like fucking our IRL streams. It kind of seems like personally seems like a little bit of a not the brightest move, in my opinion at least. But what do I know?
Confusing with the constant updates of her location, literally taunting the doxers to keep harassing her. On August 26th, Keffals would announce that she was going to Europe, staying at a friend's place in Ireland.
So, I'm okay.
All right,
I am currently in Ireland. I am staying with a friend. I'm safe. Things are good. Don't tell people what country. It is completely fine. Do you know how dense Ireland is?
The problem is her friend has already been doxed
There are a lot of fucking dumb people in Ireland. That is true.
in the past, which was recognized by the doorknob in one of her streams, meaning Keffals was doxed yet again. And just like the other times, Keffals would blame it on Kiwi Farms. Here's the thing, Kiwi Farms was down the 26th to the 29th due to having Cloudflare drop them due to pressure from Keffals. So how could it be Kiwi Farms? Turns out it's not, and Keffals was aware the whole time. There is a website that Destiny and Keffals do not name because they do not want to give it attention. So like them, we will refer to it as Website Zero. Website Zero is what Keffals portrays Kiwi Farms as. Kiwi Farms in reality.
What is that, like 8chan or something, or 4chan, or I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm an old boomer.
It's just a glorified gossip forum where people like to troll and use slurs. Website Zero, on the other hand, is a coordinated effort by users meant to harass their target, not just online, but in real life as well. And they have been publicly taking credit for much of the harassment towards Keffals. Website Zero has the email that got her swatted. They took credit for the Uber Eats hack. They took credit and explained how they doxed her new address in Ireland when her family was swatted. What website had the full documentation of her family and was actively talking about it at the time? Website Zero. And she's known that they were the real culprits the entire time.
Did she know the entire time, or was she like ignorant to that fact? How do we know she knew? I'm just genuinely curious, because like if she actually knew, then it's like bizarre she's going after Kiwi Farms. If she didn't know, I could see that, you know what I mean? But like, why, if she didn't, how do we know she knows?
Trying to silence people who talk about it, admitting in her DMs with Destiny that site was way more dangerous. Meanwhile, all she did was
saying that it's more dangerous doesn't mean this other one isn't dangerous.
Silence people who talk about it, admitting in her DMs with
I'm scared blank users aren't stupid like Kiwi Farms users. Yeah, that doesn't mean that she knew about it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she still thinks Kiwi Farms is a threat. I don't know.
Destiny that site was way more.
Well, I know you're saying that she told Destiny she knew. This message here doesn't communicate that she knew that it wasn't Kiwi Farms. This communicates that this particular website must be really bad and worse than Kiwi Farms, to the point where they don't think they should even call it out because that could have a negative impact because of how dangerous they are. It doesn't necessarily mean that the people on Kiwi Farms aren't to blame. Or, excuse me, let me be more clear. It doesn't mean that she didn't. It doesn't mean that she didn't think Kiwi Farms could still be to blame in some capacity. Right. So those are two different things. This doesn't explicitly say she told. This doesn't explicitly say that she knew it was the other thing that was more dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Dangerous. Meanwhile, all she did was blame Kiwi Farms for stuff she knows they didn't do. A site whose users didn't even know she was swatted until she announced it. Why? Well, in her own words, Kiwi Farms has more users.
I'm wondering, like, why not draw attention to that website in particular if they seem to be more inherently dangerous?
I don't think they're more inherently dangerous.
You've literally told Destiny they were. I was scared. Website Zero users aren't stupid like Kiwi Farms users. They simply post the docs and are smart enough to know how to hack accounts, collect info from data breaches, and use social engineering to get the information they need. Website Zero retaliated against me when I started the campaign to get Cloudflare to drop Kiwi Farms, and they did a more comprehensive dox of my family and friends than Kiwi Farms ever did.
Wait, so that sounds like what's happening is that, like, apparently this other website wasn't the original people who doxed her. It's just that the follow-up docs after she was trying to get rid of Kiwi Farms was from them. That doesn't... Okay. That doesn't explicitly say... That doesn't say that... That doesn't say that she's, like, acknowledging it wasn't them, though. From that communicates to me that Kiwi Farms... She thinks... I don't know if this is true. Kiwi Farms thinks... Or she thinks Kiwi Farms is the one that's been doxing her. And then after she went to the point of calling out Kiwi Farms, that's when this other website decided to step in and try to go after her. So...
They also don't have as many active users because the people who, on the other side, the people who do it, they're more technically skilled in what they do. But also because they had more extensive documentation of my family, and I didn't want to put that out there. I think that's reasonable, right?
Framing somebody else for something that...
Yeah, that's reasonable. I feel like that's reasonable. What she's saying there is that they're not as big. Like, they're more dangerous to the point that, first of all, we acknowledge that she doesn't even want to say their name. Neither does Destiny. So that's where, you know, obviously that makes it very credible that you wouldn't want to call these people out. But then outside of that, they're not as big. They can have the ability to have more impact, very clearly, based on the way that they're talking. But they're not as big. So she doesn't want to. She thinks it's more effective to go after Kiwi Farms, which apparently she still blames for the original doxing. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. Okay.
They didn't do is not reasonable. She's doing it for clout. That's it. So what did Kiwi Farms actually do that was wrong? Well, they did have a post of her doxed up for months, as well as one of the hotels she was staying at. And that is wrong, because doxing leads to swatting, swatting leads to somebody getting hurt or killed. And the owner of the site, as well as the moderators, should be held accountable for that. However, the swatting, hacking of her Uber Eats account, doxing of her family and future addresses, all come down to website zero. Yet she still pretends it's from Kiwi Farms. If we're going to hold Kiwi Farms responsible, let's do it. But stop lying about them. Your false allegations is turning Kiwi Farms into a victim, a sentence I didn't even know was possible. It's become so destructive, she's publicly encouraged her followers to swat the owner of the site. She posted a picture of the owner of the site's mom and said, "What a cute family." Surely his mother will not lose her job because of her son's heinous actions and have to leave the internet. She's justified this because his mom was featured in a news article once.
So did Joshua Moon's mother dox you?
Well, I didn't dox Joshua Moon's mother.
No, you just posted a picture of her face to your entire audience.
That photo was from news articles.
If you're beefing with someone,
well, that's not even the biggest issue. The biggest issue is she's trying to get them to be fucking like, oh, titty piss. Am I gonna lose here? Yeah, holy fuck. The biggest issue is she's trying to get them to her mom to get lose her job. That's what that screamed to me. Hey, this person should lose their fucking job. That's shitty as fuck. Trying to ruin someone else's life for that. It's fucked up.
and you start posting pictures of their family to your audience, you're inviting your fans to go harass their family. You know this. Stop playing stupid. Kiwi Farms would have a data breach leak, and she would encourage people to dox the users and get them fired from their jobs. If you have an active Kiwi Farms account, I will not only post your name publicly, but I will find out your employer and forward them your post history. I have no tolerance for hate, and users of this site should feel more scared to get as bold as they do. This is a hate group. Kiwi Farms has thousands of users every day. They aren't an organized group. This is a ridiculous narrative. She keeps finding the occasional death threat and then post it to Twitter acting like this is the sentiment of the entire website, when in reality, the mods on Kiwi Farms remove it pretty quickly. This user doesn't even exist anymore. It's like me getting a death threat on YouTube or Twitter and then acting like all of YouTube and all of Twitter want me dead. It makes no sense. It's absurd. And can I just say it? Some of these death threats she gets are kind of suspect. One account was inactive.
Swatting doesn't kill as much as people think. There's only really been one case. Okay, well that doesn't mean that swat or dox. Oh, swatting. It doesn't make swatting okay. What are you fucking talking about? It's like a weird defense run for swatting.
For 2 years, then randomly posted 2 low-effort posts on Keffals' Kiwi Farms thread. Then at 3:42 p.m., the account made a death threat towards Keffals. Only 13 minutes later, at 3:55 p.m., Keffals would post a tweet about it. And then at 3:56 p.m., less than a minute later, the user deleted the post themselves. An inactive account decides to come back and post a death threat just barely long enough for Keffals to screenshot it and make a tweet, and then it's deleted 1 minute later? Really? I'm sorry, but this looks so staged. Keffals.
So what's happening? Is what's happening that people were fucking? It sounds like what's happening is people were fucking with her on Kiwi Farms, and they might have actually contributed to her docs. But then this website might have cracked down to try to reduce the behavior, and now she's still going after them. Is that accurate as to what's happening, or is that wrong?
Would then find the Kiwi Farm user she thought doxed her and hire a private investigator to try and find out where he lives. On Discord, she would message this guy, sending him pictures of his mom and dad to him, as well as try to find out where he works. Except there's a problem. The person in the photos is not the person Keffals is talking to. So she just doxed some random guy. Who goes through this kind of effort? It's fucking psycho. Keffals would then claim that this leaked chat was fake. However, the guy she tried to dox showed proof, linking it back to her Discord account. But we don't even need that because Keffals herself bragged about doing it at 3 a.m. before promptly deleting the tweets. Meanwhile, she's going on CNN acting like she's above all this.
What is your message?
She was on CNN? Oh my god. I gotta become trans, bro. I gotta become fucking trans, dude. Holy moly. Put me on CNN, baby. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't want to be trans to go on CNN. I'd want to be trans to go on MSNBC. I'm just kidding.
To the people who are doing this to you.
I don't blame them, really, because...
Really?
Why?
Yeah, they got roped into a hate group. And once you get deep enough inside one of these things, it's really hard to get out.
I don't know. To me, personally, that didn't exactly come off as the most sincere, I feel bad for the trolls thing. I feel like she doesn't feel that way, and I don't know why she would. See, that's the one thing. Of all the things I know about her, she doesn't seem like the kind of person that feels bad. I don't think that that's true. Why lie about that? Why pretend to feel sympathy for them? That seems a little bizarre, but okay.
I want to show them more compassion than they've ever shown me.
You can't say that after doxing users' moms, encouraging your followers to dox and swat them, getting your fans to go after users' jobs, and framing everyone on the site for shit they didn't do. When you knew which website was responsible the entire time and you did nothing but try to silence people who brought it up. At one point, it straight up sounds like she's calling for violence. She posted the address of the office that hosted Kiwi Farms in Ukraine and told her followers that the owner, as well as the site as a whole, supports Vladimir Putin and loves Russians. She said,
What the fuck? That's way too far. Wait, so there was okay, the hosting site was Ukrainian, and then she falsely said that they love Vladimir Putin. That's fucked up. Like that could really. I feel like them fighting words in Ukraine, right? I mean, that's fucking crazy. Jesus Christ. Okay, a little disproportionate there, girl. Oh my god. What the fuck?
if I have any Ukrainian followers, here's the phone number and address to where Kiwi Farms is hosted. Do your thing. What is Ukraine's thing at the moment? We're talking about pro-Russia supporters. Ukraine, do your thing. Wink, wink.
Here comes the money. Here we go.
You know,
call in the nuke. I don't know. That seems to be a very like literally like unironically nuclear fucking thing to do there. That's a little scary, man. That's a little bit spooky. I'd be scared right now. Okay.
You know what else doesn't make sense? The GoFundMe. The GoFundMe reached over $100,000 with the goals to move, replace her belongings, and build a legal fund. But when I start to break it down, it becomes very confusing. She says she needs to recoup her losses.
I started a GoFundMe to move immediately, recoup my losses.
What losses? All of her stuff was given back by the police after 3 days. There are no losses.
Hey, those 3 days of streaming revenues, you know what I'm saying, dude? Must have lost millions of dollars on that, you know what I'm saying, dude? I don't know. I'm just being goofy.
Actually got my stuff back in like 3 days and got an apology.
Papa, why are you so charitable to her? And is my question. I feel like you're recognizing terrible things after terrible things she's done, and then 5 minutes later you're like, she's all right. I don't get it. Because it's not as deep as a lot of people want to say. She's not great. She's not ideal. She's like a fucking compulsive liar. In a lot of situations, a lot of people like to play up some of the things that she's done wrong, and sometimes they seem to be inaccurate. At least, like from here, it doesn't seem like she ever said that Kiwi Farms was never responsible. It sounds like Kiwi Farms was responsible for her doxing her, and then when she called out Kiwi Farms to get it taken down, this other organization of forum users, whatever it would be called, they took it a step further, and she's afraid of them, so she doesn't want to call them out. Listen, she's not great. She kind of sucks, based on what people say, but some people also just fucking hate her. I'm just generally charitable. I'm not terminally online like most people that are online. That's pretty much that's all I really have to say. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You could be upset about it if you disagree. I don't think it's as deep as we all want to believe it is, personally. So there's my reason why, sir. Also, it's because I have a 66% win rate on Torbjorn. That's the bigger reason why. I don't give a fuck, dude. Because I'm a fucking bronze 4 Torbjorn player. Bronze 3, actually. So, be impressed, sussy bakas. How's that sound?
Chief and the chief of police.
That's nice.
So, yeah, that was really nice.
When it comes to her moving, for some reason she decided to vacation in Europe under the guise of fleeing the country.
And I thought that if I got far away and went to a different continent, they wouldn't be able to do the same thing.
It literally makes no sense. How does moving countries help escape the internet? You'd be better off staying at home where people like the police.
Bro, I don't feel bad for any of the fans that donated money to her and like thought she was gonna do this, because I just feel like I don't know. I just don't feel bad for you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like your typical fucking con job. I mean, not all of it's a con, but like, I don't know. She got a lot of money. She kept raising the goal. It would have been one thing for her to keep getting more money and, her to keep collecting it, but then like raising the goal. It's like, what you know what you're doing, bro. Or sis, sorry. You know what you're doing, sis. You know what you're doing. I call guys and girls bro, but it's like weird because when, now it's like more bizarre because I feel like I have to overcorrect because they're trans, Fucked up.
I don't know who she is. She would then buy an IRL streaming setup so she could stream in the streets. So you're in hiding, but you're streaming your location. You go to TwitchCon, but you're streaming your location. You announce that you're going.
I understand the TwitchCon one because she's at TwitchCon. People are going to see her regardless. But like the IRL stream, it's like when she's in Ireland or whatever, right? IRL. It's not even. She's not doing it in real life stream. She's doing an IRL ELAND Ireland stream. How about that? She's just doing an Ireland stream. It's dad humor. It's funny. It's funny.
to Spain. The reality is she's not fleeing anything. She never was fleeing anything because the safest thing she could do is stay at home where the police know who she is. YouTubers are swatted all the time. Keemstar, H3H3.
About 30 minutes ago, I had...
Well, yeah, that's true. I personally wouldn't downplay the swatting. You know what I mean? Like, swatting is a little bit, it's a little shitty. You know what I mean? Just a little bit.
40 cops at my house with guns drawn on me.
The first time we got swatted, there was like 20 police cars. There's a fucking helicopter.
That'd be a scary experience.
The whole house with their guns drawn. It was pretty nuts.
Countless Twitch streamers, and this is what they all do. They don't go travel Europe. She's got her fans worried for nothing. When it comes to the legal fund, it starts off with the police violated my rights, and we will get justice. If the goal is exceeded, which was $20,000, funds will be allocated to a legal fund.
I am keeping the GoFundMe up, but any donation
$20,000, funds will be allocated.
Legal fund to protect myself against ongoing and future safety. If this goal is exceeded, funds will be allocated to a legal fund to protect myself against ongoing and future threats to my safety. That doesn't explicitly say she's going to sue anybody, but didn't it say that at one point? I feel like it might have. Did she change it?
To a legal fund.
I am keeping the GoFundMe up, but any donations towards it from this point forward will be strictly towards the legal fund.
Oh, there you go.
Anyone who wants to donate
yeah, that's what I thought. I think it used to say that, and then she must have changed it.
to it can do so. And you will be given updates as legal actions progress.
So the goal is exceeded by more than $80,000. Well, it's...
Yeah, she kept raising the fund, too, to like a new level. Guys, update. I'm not suing. There you go. Update.
Been over 2 months. Where are these updates, Keffals? You acted like you were going to sue the police.
I was also subject to unjust seizures, which not only affected my...
Bro, I've been subjected to some unjust seizures as well. That's why I have to go on the new seizure medication. Isn't that fucking sad? I'm just kidding. I'm not on that. Soul and Valor. I just thought that the joke would be funny because I'm a boomer. But, you know, sorry to everybody that has seizures. I feel kind of bad now. So if you have a seizure, hopefully this doesn't trigger you. Hold on. Fuck. I was going to try to flash the screen. Didn't really work, though. So, good. This way I didn't hurt anybody. That would have been terrible.
livelihood, but has severely disrupted the work that my fiance is doing in their doctorate program, and has the potential to impact whether or not my fiance finishes their doctorate. People kept asking me why I'm raising the goal when it hits the goal. And the reason why is because...
money, baby.
Yes, I'm using these funds to move. But more importantly, once I'm safe, the rest of those funds are going to be used for legal expenses. Because I'm not just moving. I'm also taking legal action.
It then became, well, I'm going to potentially sue the police.
After it first happened, I was very mad at the police. And I wanted to...
Why not just say, hey, I thought I had a case, but I didn't. I got nay-nayed, guys. So, oopsie poopsies. That's all she really had to say. Yeah.
Hold their feet to the fire as much as possible. I wanted to even potentially pursue legal action against them.
It then becomes, well, I never said I was going to sue the police. I was being very careful with my language.
I keep raising it. The reason that I did that in the first place was because I wanted it to be $100,000 from the beginning, but I didn't know if I would get that money. So when it kept coming in, I just kept raising the cap until I got there. I never said that I was going to sue.
Does that make it any better? Like, does that even make it better?
The police. I wanted to be very careful with the language that I used because I don't know exactly what the plan is.
A few weeks later, Keffals would admit in a leaked conversation that all the money's just sitting in her savings account. She ain't suing nothing. When people would ask for a breakdown for how she's spending the GoFundMe money, she refuses to elaborate. I will never do a GoFundMe breakdown for bad faith actors. Everyone who donated has a refund button. Someone would ask, can you actually prove you were pursuing litigation? I have no intentions of knowing what it is or what you're pursuing. Can you just give us some proof that you're actually pursuing legal action? Keffals would reply, can you prove that this tweet didn't ratio you? He would ask again, one piece of evidence that you paid for a lawyer with the money donated towards your legal fund.
She got him with facts and logic,
Showing
baby.
The breakdown for money donated to you for specific purposes should be something you want to do. Now she's so confident that she's gotten away with it.
No, I don't think that she has to go that far to break it down. With like specific, like I don't think she has to itemize it, but like speak about it. Hey, I'm still suing. Hey, I'm not going to sue anymore. Say something like that. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. You know, blah blah blah. Something like that. But to just constantly like meme people. Because she's setting people up for like the idea. It's like the whole dude. It's just so stupid. It's like so weird to explain. with the whole thing with her saying, I'm not going to break it down for you guys to try to like invalidate it. She's trying to make it seem like any question against it is somehow fucking transphobic or something. But all she really needs to say is like, yeah, guys, I'm not suing. I thought it was an option and it's not anymore. If you want to refund it, you can. And honestly, most people probably won't even refund. That's the funny part, is the people complaining are like her fans that probably don't even care, like realistically speaking. That's one of the things. Like, it doesn't really matter that much. It's mostly her own fans that are the ones that are fucking giving her the money. They do whatever they want. They want to be, they want to do whatever. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? It's really not that big of a deal when it comes to them.
That she literally laughs about it.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm not the one with $100,000 of milking it for content.
Damn.
Hold on. I'm not the one with a
I'm sorry that you don't have $100,000, but that's...
Hey. Keffals, pay your taxes. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you with the IRS. I'm going to get you. Okay? And then you're going to get IRS-tid. That's funny. I'm on a roll today. IRS-ted. It's actually making me chuckle. So stupid. Oh, man.
It's not my fault you're a broke bitch.
Not a single part of this GoFundMe makes sense. She's pursuing legal action. Can't explain what it is. She needed money for the damages made by the police when there are none. And when it comes to moving, I don't think vacationing all around Europe while IRL streaming the whole thing is what people had in mind. It doesn't even make sense. Everything I just talked about has been well documented in Destiny's manifesto on Keffals. But before it came out, she would message him a backhanded threat to try and prevent it from happening. She'd write, I'm glad you were reasonable. You are a smart guy. I never doubted that about you. You obviously see how we have the potential to both lose control over this situation if it goes mainstream. If this situation ended up in the news cycle, it would put my friends and family at risk, and at worst, could result in your YouTube account getting terminated. I'm glad you agree with me that both of us walking away is the best course of action. I don't want to see either of us eat shit because of this. When Destiny ended up dropping the document anyway, Keffals would seek out his wife at TwitchCon, threatening him again.
Keffals went to go, and she went up to Melina.
That's his wife? Damn. She's hot as fuck. Sorry. I'm counting. It's 15. 8:31.
Of lolcats. The place is incredibly...
Sorry. Accidentally rewinded the video. My bust.
This thing on the site, and that makes Stardust...
Hold on.
What's funny if she would do the same thing to Stardust. First she...
And people say all sorts of crazy shit.
Alright. Sorry.
And she went up to Melina, and she was like,
16,
she was shaking.
17,
like, it was like she was so
18,
anxious or
19,
so angry she was
20,
shaking, right?
21,
and she said,
22,
tell your husband,
23,
if he doesn't stop coming for me,
4,
I'm going to get his YouTube channel deleted.
5. Whoa! That is crazy. Do you think she could if she wanted to? Like, also, what number did I say? 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30... 31. Do you actually think that Keffals has the power to do that? Because I feel like if Keffals wanted that done to Destiny, she would have fucking done it already. You know what I mean? Like, YouTube is our holy sanctum. Sanctum. That one didn't really hit for me, but you know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Am I right?
No fucking memes. That happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Melina would also back up this story, although Keffals would deny it. Of course she would. She always does when she's caught in the shit.
Someone came forward with a story that Keffals went up to Destiny's wife and said, ridiculous. I'm getting your husband banned. Like some shit like that, right? Isn't that the story, Nick?
That's about what I heard.
And people say all sorts of crazy shit about me. Like, people
No.
say
Is it true? Is it true? Is it true? Come on.
So I'm just genuinely curious. Was there proof that it happened? Although this Chud Logic guy, I don't know him at all, but I don't think that he would lie. I think my understanding, he's a pretty credible guy, you know. So I don't think he would lie about that. Oh, you gotta be fucking my mom's tits right now. Sorry, I'm just just a little irritated by this game right now. It's a little sussed out. But yeah, he doesn't seem like he would lie. But is there proof? Like, is it on her stream or anything? All right, let's see if this works out. It's kind of a waste, though. I feel like I just fucked myself.
And clapped.
See, that sucks because that sounded like a bad bitch moment.
I don't know. I kind of wish I could be as cool as some people think that I am. Like, people make up all sorts of crazy shit about me, and they make me sound like I'm this evil mastermind.
You totally went up to Destiny's wife and said that. That is something you would do. I'm getting your husband banned. Like, no, this is not true. This is fake.
I already said, man.
What's funny if she would do the same thing to Stardust. First, she'd come up with some reason to discredit her, some weird guilt by association thing. Flamenco was friendly with Stardust, and he had an account on Kiwi Farms where he talked some shit about Keffals. Did he dox her or support her dox in any way? No. Does she show anything he posted that was super messed up? No. He's just a bad guy for existing on the site, and that makes Stardust a bad guy because he's in her chat.
I feel like it's kind of...
I remember that conversation. She started yelling and then left. It was fucking crazy, dude. It was fucking nut bars. It was fucking kooky. Kooky bananas. Did I upgrade everything I needed to upgrade?
Hypocritical to be blaming him for being part of a forum, right?
Oh, shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch. Really?
Jesus Christ.
Blaming him for being part of a thread that is engaged in so much harassment that my fucking mother's address was leaked and they went after my family.
You single?
How fucking discourse brained are you that this is actually something that you would say?
Holy shit. What does that mean?
So I'm not trying to get you mad or anything like that.
Okay, then actually be a fucking person.
Right, I've expressed...
Stardust, I think what you should have asked her here is, have you ever loved before? Like, have you ever loved before? Well, do you love before?
To you that I don't approve of doxing, and I don't...
I do. I do
Yes,
approve it.
Tell him you don't approve of him being in Kiwi Farms.
He knows that I don't approve of doxing, but Kiwi Farms is
But you're like
separate from
okay
that.
with it. So, but you're okay with people who engage in that in your community because he's there right now.
I mean, I don't think people in my community engage in that. Nobody in my community is doxing.
Is Flamenco not part of your community? Is he not in your chat just like you said?
Unless you have screenshots. I'm willing to ban him if you have screenshots of him posting docs, but...
He didn't post docs. He engaged in the fucking thread.
He talks shit about me. See, he's a bad guy. He's allowed to talk shit
True.
about you. You
True.
aren't above it. What is this entitled shit? And Stardust would tweet about dropping her YouTube video on Keffals. Her channel would suspiciously get a strike on an unlisted video that same day, indicating a mass flagging. She's literally intimidating a smaller channel in her genre with mass flagging and hasn't spoken.
You know, listen, I want to be honest here. I think Stardust, listen, this is going to be some constructive criticism. I think Stardust could be a much bigger channel. But if you ever go on a Stardust channel, she doesn't make fucking content. She streams. She has top conversations with some bigger names. I was chatting with her the other day, and Destiny and and ABBA and where is it? It's not here. It's not here. Where's the video of that conversation? You know what I'm saying? Like, advocate for yourself. If you are part of a conversation, doesn't matter who the biggest person there is, put the fucking video up yourself. You earned the fact that you're there and you're participating in the conversation, even if you don't talk too much, that is your time. You are part of that conversation. You are complicit in that conversation. You have every right to post that conversation. You know what I'm saying, dude? Make content, put that bitch up. Put a video up every day. Put the name out there. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, dude. That's all I'm saying. Me, on the other hand, Papa Gut posts an extraordinary amount of content. Hey, do you see this? I don't give a fuck. Look at this. Look at this. Today I posted 4 videos. Some of them didn't do very well. This one did not do well at all. 160 views, damn. Some of them are doing all right. Anyway, who gives a fuck? It's still money. I posted 10 videos the day before that. I'm not even kidding. I had posted 10 fucking videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One day. I did 10 times. I did a 6.5 hour stream. I said, fuck that shit. Post it, dude. You did part of the content. Post it. Put it up there, baby. Make it up, baby. Fuck it. You know, put yourself out there. That's how I've always been successful, is throwing shit on the wall and see what sticks. You know, back in my TikTok days, I had videos with millions. I mean, I had a period where I was getting like lots of views, but there were periods where I would post like 20 videos a day, and I'd always get like 1 million views. One of the videos would hit 1 million a day. You know what I'm saying, dude? Just go for it. YOLO. Sigma status. Sugma balls.
Out against it at all. All hail Chancellor Keffals.
I love hentai. I need hentai in my life. All day, I love hentai.
We've already talked about Keffals' weird guilt by association when it comes to having a Kiwi Farms account. Just being on the site somehow makes you a doxer, swatter, and harasser. Hell, just knowing somebody who uses the site makes you guilty. But that kind of reminds me of this thing called Catboy Ranch. It was Keffals' Twitter account at the time, as well as the name of a Discord that allegedly had some grooming in it. I have absolutely nothing to do with that Discord, and I think that it is disgusting. I'll warn people about the Discord. Someone would ask, by that you mean you'll leave the Discord? Keffals would reply with, already did. I wasn't active or aware of this until now. She would then get pummeled in the replies. Bruh, I was joking. I didn't know you were a part of it. Did she actually just admit to being part part of that groomer Discord, Kaz law is
like
once
it,
again
no.
proven true. Keffals would then say, what is this guilt by association shit? I'm like in 30 Discord servers. Now, I don't think Keffals should be held guilty for that. She was hardly involved. But I'm also not the one who believes in guilt by association. She does, especially when it comes to her critics. So if everybody who has a Kiwi Farms account is guilty in her eyes, she sure is for Catboy Ranch. For fuck's sake, she has the ad on Twitter. Now that's embarrassing.
I love Brooklyn's catchy pills, and the favorite ones are the ones that kill.
Northern Boys, very funny. Love those guys. They're very good. That's the song.
Quickly. Keffals is a big advocate for minors transitioning and using HRT and hormone blockers to do so, even if it means their parents are against it.
Not just the kids, but it's also not fair to the parent.
It's not fair to the parents. Since when has being trans and transitioning had anything to do with anyone except for the person who is trans?
I mean, listen, I think that the parents should be able to have some say about it. You know what I mean? Be able to help their kids navigate an obviously very difficult situation. I'm still on the fence about kids even getting fucking hormones in the first place, but I gotta sell this. I don't know. I don't think that the parents should be completely out of the know for it. You know, because I think you need to go to... See, this is the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. On the one hand, I think it's very difficult for a young person to make this type of decision, that especially since I don't think that you understand that. How the fuck did I just lose? I just literally shit and fucking... Oh my god. Sorry. I don't even know what the fuck just happened. I don't even know how I lost. Okay, sorry. Let me just... Fuck. Let me start over again. On the one hand, I'm very apprehensive about like kids going on like any type of hormones, because I think it's difficult for a child to understand the scope of these things and, you know, misdiagnosis and whatnot. And so like I'm very apprehensive about it. That being said, you also have like the aspect of like, you know, the kids are, if they're displaying behaviors, and I gotta get rid of this fucking thing. If they're displaying these behaviors to such a degree where like they're, you know, suicidal and they're absolutely miserable, then like, you know, it could be a question of, dude, how am I losing? I'm actually gonna fucking blow my brains out. It gets to a point of a question of like, you know, like actually protecting the kid and actually like making sure that they are like mental health safe enough. You know what I mean? It's just a hard call. That being said, I don't think anybody should ever be self-prescribing anything. That's part that's fucking nuts. Like, you know, a kid, because that's what I believe that's the advocacy is for, is kids being able to get access to these hormones without actually needing a doctor's appointment or a diagnosis. And that's the most dangerous part. I think everybody's on board with like, you shouldn't be able to do that. I understand it can be difficult to find some of this stuff. At the end of the day, I think that's wildly dangerous. So...
Yeah, children aren't property. They're human beings.
Yes, they are.
See, funded your friend's entire website where that was the point. To buy HRT and DIY hormones from people and then ship it to you with the explicit directions on how minors should do it. Learn how to buy Bitcoin. If you're a minor, get a trusted adult to buy Bitcoin for you. You know, I can see the argument that by 15 or 16, kids would know if they wanted to transition or not. And if that's what Keffals, who did transition at that age, wants to fight for, more power to her. But what's weird is how much she lies and how sneaky she acts about it. She went on the H3 podcast and was just blatantly lying about everything.
One of their problems is that you are supporting young people, young trans people who didn't have access to hormones. You are telling them how to make homemade hormones.
Oh my God. No, I don't know how to make homemade hormones. I noticed the new thing is they're saying that I'm teaching people how to make hormones in their bathtub, which just sounds insane.
That sounds difficult. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, how do you do that?
It isn't as far off as you would think.
Well, I have the bigger issue is that she never answered the question. So the biggest issue I had with that was that she never actually she never went in on that question at that point. She didn't say like, no, that's not what I'm doing. I just am providing hormones to young people for whatever reason. Because here's my thing. If this is something that like you believe in, of like, you know, trying to supply young people with hormones or young trans people with hormones because you think that they need it, because they don't have like access to be able to get it from their own doctor, okay. Why is it that you hide from that perspective then? How come you're not owning that perspective like when you're on with like H3? That doesn't make any sense to me. If you're doing advocacy, wouldn't you want to be like, well, I'm actually supplying hormones for A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, I see where you're coming from. She didn't even mention it in that interview. So like why? Are you afraid people are gonna hate you for it? Like, I don't know. I feel like, isn't that the whole point of the advocacy? You had like a platform. H3, I doubt, would have shit on you for it. He's gonna, you know, he's probably gonna be a little bit of a, he's gonna be like a little bit of a lefty on that regardless. I know Hassan At the very least, their biggest criticism might have just been like, oh, you think you should have a doctor's prescription, but I understand where you're coming from. But why not like own the perspective publicly? I don't get it.
The HRT website that she funded supports homemade hormones and even gives a step-by-step guide on how to do it, as well as allowing you to buy other people's homemade hormones. So why
how do I get homemade testosterone, guys? Asking for a gym friend of mine.
are you lying, Keffals? If you actually believe in it, you should stand up for it. Lying and covering it up just makes it look like you're doing something wrong.
What's the truth? I mean, you do have some kind of community where you're helping young trans people, right? That's like something you're passionate about. So where do you guys do this? Is it like a Discord or something, or like a community?
Oh, it's like a Twitch stream.
Oh, just on Twitch?
Yeah.
So it's all just out in the public?
Yeah.
Because they make it sound like you have some kind of secret or some community spot that's not publicly seen where you're talking with kids and stuff, but that's not even the case.
No.
Again, she's lying. Keffals does have a Discord. I'm in it, and it's obvious there are many hidden channels. I am donating thousands of dollars a year to a resource so people affected by hysterical anti-trans laws can have access to hormone replacement therapy before the age of 18. I do not give a single shit what you think. All turfs who might read this, I've assisted at least a dozen minors with getting hormone replacement therapy. Cope and seethe.
Secret or some community spot that's not publicly seen where you're talking with kids and stuff, but that's not even the case.
No.
That sounds pretty bad the way Ethan's saying it. I would. Yeah. Hey, I got this whole place. I'm talking with fucking kids. I need 9. Wait, how many do I need? What the fuck? Sorry. There was 9 specters. What the fuck is going on here? All right. Sorry, guys. It looks like it's 9 204s and 8 420s.
Wow, that's interesting. They really are just straight up lying, huh? Shouldn't surprise me that much, but yeah.
Also, her friend Chloe, the person who runs the DIY HRT site, openly brags about pink pilling minors. Pink pilling being the act of convincing minors of being trans. I have unironically pink pilled half a dozen minors. No one tell them I've helped more than one minor order bathtub estrogen collage. Stop acting like a—
That's really bad. Wait. Because, like, there's the thing, is that you should never self-diagnose or diagnose someone else if you're not a doctor. This is a very difficult situation to go through. Pink pilling is basically being indoctrinated into incel beliefs, but for women. Pink pilling is when whitewashing your feminism. Pink pilling, is that actually what pink pilling is? Because I'm seeing that pink pilling is not that when I look it up. Oh wait, pink pilled on Urban Dictionary, the act of turning seemingly straight males into effeminate transvestite e-girls or transgenders. All right, well that's a little regressive. Okay, yeah. So if this is what they're actually saying is that they're trying to condition minors into thinking that they're trans, that's really bad, because this is like a very difficult like diagnosis to deal with, or like an identity issue to deal with, and that like you're literally just confirming the suspicions or fears of transphobic people, and you're giving them a look at that to point at. You know what I mean? That's really dangerous, and it's not good for a kid's mind, man. Like this, like in general, like every generation grows up and deals with some kind of like identity issue. So it's for you to try to exacerbate it is really irresponsible and disgusting, you know? I would imagine as a trans person, you should understand not wanting to be, like, trans. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I know that sounds really harsh, but, like, for instance, I'm a man. Being a man is a mental disorder, so I would never want my child to be a man. I'm just kidding. I have OCD and ADHD, right? And shit. I have tics. I don't like it. I wouldn't want my kid to have the same. You know what I mean? I would accept my kid if they had something like that. If my kid was trans, I would accept them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I made too many. But, like, that's a lot to go through, bro. I just feel like you shouldn't be trying to condition kids into that, especially since they'll most likely end up detransitioning anyway. And if they go too far, I could just fuck them up, especially if you're providing DIY hormones to them. So they're not even just, like, socially. It's fucked.
It's just a Twitch stream. It's not. It's so obviously deeper than that. You lying about it the way you are looks terrible. You know what else looks terrible? The fact that randomly the site has been updated saying you have to be 18 or older to access it. Although nothing is stopping you from just clicking past it. The packaging on some of the DIY hormones you could buy from the site say keep out of reach of parents. How sketchy you and Chloe are acting, the packaging on this shit just makes this whole DIY, buy hormones made out of a pressure cooker shit look so unsafe. Black market estrogen, sick. Your whole message was that these are safe alternatives for teens that want to transition but can't, either due to unsupportive parents or legislation in their area. Now she's gone completely back on all of it. The website's been edited, removing a bunch of the language around minors. They deleted the self-made hormones post and added an 18+ warning to the site. Then finally, she just stopped publicly affiliating with the site at all. Why? This is what you and Chloe have advocated for over a year. This is your project. What, did somebody die? This cover-up makes it look like you have no principles.
Hey, listen, all I gotta say is Keffals is right. Next politician. She knows what to do. Just lie about everything. You know what I mean? That's fucked though.
Some tips for Keffals. She's been in more internet drama in the past 6 months than anyone I've ever seen. She's gotten in fights with Jeremy and Nick Rakita, both of which I believed purposely misgendered her, with Nick saying some particularly nasty things. And that's wrong. You guys know me. I love to dunk on Jeremy. But when you go after somebody's money, their sponsors, their livelihood, trying to get them banned off.
That one I disagree with. I think that it was fine. Here's what she said.
You guys know me. I love to dunk on Jeremy. But when you go after somebody's money, their sponsors.
So what she said here was, hey, MetaPCs, are you okay with one of the people who you sponsor using their massive platform to harass transgender people? Listen, if I'm an advertiser and somebody, and like MetaPCs kept Jeremy, and that's fine. They have every right to do whatever they want as a brand. I'm not going to criticize them as a brand. But I, as a consumer, or excuse me, any advertiser has the right to be like, you know what? I don't want to assign myself to transphobic content. And I, as a consumer, would have every right to be like, I don't want to consume from a business that checkmarks this type of shit. So I think this is fine. I feel like the don't go after sponsors thing at any cost is like a little silly. I think if somebody's being like very provocative or transphobic, this is fine. All she's doing is bringing attention to them. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, don't say transphobic shit if it doesn't align with the company. And they kept them, so good for them. You know what I mean? But like, well, I don't. You know what I mean? I don't. Who gives a shit? Like, I feel like this one is like one of those things where it's like, yeah, this is just like a very, like, I don't. This is like a terminally online thing to me. Like, yeah, if they're being openly transphobic and they want to, and the company has every right to understand that and to say and to be able to make their own decision. So I don't really care about that.
Their livelihood, trying to get them banned off YouTube, off Twitter, from the Minnesota bar. How do I defend you then? They don't owe you the respect of your pronouns when you try and stop them from putting food on the table. You'll never convince them or their fans to join your side by trying to ban them. All you're doing is justifying their actions. Another thing, every time.
Because it's like the same thing when people were calling out what Ethan did when he made that joke about Ben Shapiro. And you're like, hey, YouTube, are you okay with this? Me personally, I think that it was an edgy joke. It was a little far, but like I didn't really care about it. But you know what? You guys let YouTube know, and they didn't want to have that assigned to them, so they got rid of it. That's perfectly fair. You guys did the exact same thing to Ethan. You just feel like your reason is justifiable. They brought it to the attention of a particular like brand or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and the brand makes a decision whether to keep it or not. That's the reality of it. You know what I mean? Yo, Pop, I don't like what you're saying. It's slippery slope. I don't care what you think, to be factually honest with you. Everybody does this. They just like to pretend that they're not doing it, but they all do it in different ways. There were tons of people who were calling for Ethan to be deplatformed over some of the things that he says. You know what I mean? Everybody is in the same way. The slippery slope argument is like generally kind of a silly argument. That's just the reality. Okay? They kept them. That's perfectly fine. But everybody has the right to advertise for what they want. If I was an advertiser and somebody was making transphobic remarks, I wouldn't want to put them in my brand. I would want to get rid of them. Ultimately, it's the business's decision whether they want to do that or not. It's a weird online rule that I think is very disconnected from the real world. So
Keffals ends up in a big drama. She ends up talking to someone. Oh, I just need some space. That's the only way I can get over this.
I do want to say, like, I think I reacted more harshly than I otherwise would have because you were the first YouTuber to ever make a YouTube video about me at all.
Really?
Yes. So it's like when I first saw it, I was like freaking out. It was like, you know, a lot of shit happened. And yeah, I've been pretty aggressive in the past, but I don't think I can ever move on or calm down unless I'm given the space to.
You said this to me?
Probably all the estrogen she's got, you know what I mean? Making her emotional. What do you think about that, Sissy Bakas? What do you think about my casual sexism plus transphobia?
Keem and Nick, you haven't changed at all. You're still a weasel willing to say anything to get out of trouble for the given situation.
Whoa.
Take accountability. Prove that you care. Because right now it doesn't look like you care about anything. Not even your own website to help trans youth. You seem horribly vindictive, resorting to doxing, encouraging swatting, posting pictures of people's moms. What a cute family. Lying about homemade hormones, DIY hormones.
You post those pictures as long as the mom's hot. I'm all for it, baby. I'm all for it, sugar daddy.
Discord, Chloe, holding others to guilt by association, but not you. The Catboy Ranch, that doesn't count. And resorting to using people's suicides as a weapon. You use people, you're a professional victim, literally.
Did she do that?
That DIY hormones. Your Discord, Chloe, holding others to guilt by association, but not you. The Catboy Ranch, that doesn't count. And resorting
I never heard of this other one.
to using people's suicides as a weapon. You use people, you're a professional victim, literally, profiting $100,000 off GoFundMe scams. Hell, a black guy gets murdered by the police, an absolute tragedy, and Keffals somehow makes it about herself. Every time I see another story involving an innocent black man being killed by the police, I think back to last month when I had an assault rifle pointed at me by the police, and how easily that situation could have escalated if I wasn't white. It's not about you. Like, she literally cannot comprehend
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Impeach Keffals. She's a cancer to the community. For positives, I guess she's a memer. You know, she posts some pretty edgy jokes, a picture of her shooting the towers. She called Keem a pedophile. I found that pretty funny. You know, she's just not an honest person and a professional narcissist, having to relate herself back to every tragedy. In a way, I kind of understand how she was a politician. That makes a lot of sense now. This video took a ridiculously long time to make, and I'm sure it's getting demonetized and flagged like crazy, so thank you. And thank you to Teach Hanley. Make sure to check them out in the pinned comment down below. And of course, shout out to the homies over on Patreon. Phoebes, Crimson Glass, Zombie Fox, River, Christina Vina, Free Spirit Katie, Detective Pika, Mac Monkey, Drain Kobex, Bo Blacks, Necro Valley, Stefan Bildman, Ivana Santini, Friday 13, and the mega homies, Reynolds Hughes, Mercelin, IGP, Hellison, Bald Boy Ajax, Jason Johnson, Your Taxi, Latchkey Gothboy, Spartan McCowell, Lore Reloaded, Code 9, Papa Gut, Evan Do Things, and Addy Chris.
That's me. See, he at least somebody put a capital in my first fucking name, dude. People have been doing that. It's fucking confusing.
Follow me on Twitter, and as always, till next time. Hopefully I don't get banned. Please.
Tonight I can't taste
All right.
the whiskey from across the room in the stumbling of
Not bad, not bad, not bad. Good video.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.